Hello there? Okay, definitely doing that if I had the time. Because Sophie will really appreciate that. There's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's Haven. She could use your help with the problem. I'll do that after I finish, D'Angelo. As you leave your haven, a homeless man bumps into you. You turn after him, but he blends into the crowd before you can even get a good look at his face. Instinctively, you check your pocket. Looking at Manhattan Bridge. Come over. D. Knowing there are only so many places with a good enough view of the Knowing there are only so many places with a good enough view of the Manhattan Bridge, you decide to check the ones that aren't likely to be crowded at this time of night. Doesn't take long before you hit the jackpot. Jane's Carousel. As you're walking along the pier, you notice a lonely figure sitting on the bench, steel flask in hand with his legs up on the railing. Soon enough, you hear a familiar voice. Evening turned to night, and as the final flickering rays of sunlight gave way to the kind nocturnal shadows, so did the last of the jabbering tourists give way to a blessed silence. And yet, I couldn't shake the feeling. Pausing mid-sentence, he leans over the bench backrest and looks straight at you. Upside down, his face looks even creepier than usual. That I wasn't alone. That flask. Is that what I think it is? Depends on what you think. Little something from my private reserve. Called the Drunken Sailor. That's probably where I got it from. I did not ask, but the warlock who prepared this knows what I like. He takes a sip, then points the flask in your general direction. Want some? No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. Suit yourself, kid. You're missing out. But hey, if you like your band new sober, get another one. Killing, down by the docks. Same MO. Blood, graffiti. Yep, it was our gal, alright. Victim sucked dry, same as before. Another sign on the wall, something about impending doom and no load he coming. Particulars escape me. You know, that night I saw her. Looked so frail, so innocent. Deep inside, I was hoping she'd be spooked. Get out of town. Maybe, just maybe that would be the end of it. That's just me, you know. Hopelessly optimistic. Any idea why she's doing it? Doesn't really matter at this point. Whether she's Kane's chosen, just a poor girl gone nuts after a botched embrace. One thing's painfully clear. He gives you a look full of worry and sadness. She ain't gonna stop. He takes a swig, as if to punctuate the sentence. So, anyway, set up a meeting. Neutral ground, public space. Shouldn't get too ugly. Still, I was hoping you could tag along. Okay, so who are we meeting? Takes another compulsive swig. Better strap in, cause it's doozy. Unless you want to introduce me to your parents, I could probably handle it. Con, who is it? Valerie? Valerie? Is it murderous bitch Valerie? Likes to choke people out for the fuck of it, Valerie? That Valerie? You ever noticed that if you repeat a word enough times, it just starts to sound like animal noises? But yeah, that Valerie. I know you two didn't exactly hit it off. She's not as bad as you might think. In some respects she's probably worse, but she can be reasoned with. Once again, he goes for the flask, but stops himself mid-motion. Look, the way I see it, we ain't got a choice. Much as I want to help Sana, clearly if you bat short of a belfry, more people are gonna die unless we do something about it. Do you really think we could trust someone like Valerie? D'Angelo almost does a spit take. Fuck no. We can do business with her. I'm just worried that her asking price might be too steep for my liking. Then again, don't always get what you want, huh? Noticeably proud of his words of wisdom, he tries to top him off with one last swig. A single drop falls between his crooked teeth. He looks at the empty flask with utmost contempt. Well, ain't that fucking poignant? Muttering a curse under his breath, he makes a valiant effort to get up off the bench. As he staggers, struggling to remain upright, you offer your shoulder to lean on. He shoots you with a smile that's as crooked as it is affectionate. Hey, kid. You meet his gaze, trying to look friendly rather than condescending. You alright? With that heartfelt moment, you bid adieu to the sprawling vista and make your way towards the bridge. Next stop, Manhattan. Entering the park from Midtown Manhattan, you promptly take a spot by one of the alleys, not very deep into the park. Minutes pass. 5, 10, 15. Start to wonder if she's even going to show up. Suddenly, you hear a familiar voice, but an unfamiliar tone. She sounds almost nice. Hello, Ginny. And there she is, walking alongside the fountain. She looks less out of place here than back at that junkie-infested hovel, but only by a slight margin. Something tells you there are only so many places she would feel at home, and probably not ones you would want to find yourself in. Well? She glances over to you, barely noting your presence. Sorry about last time. Nothing personal, you understand. When I get caught up in the moment, I can get a bit, intense. I can attest to that. Can you two just get a room? Because the sexual tension is unbearable. D'Angelo gives you a pleading look. He clearly doesn't want you to dwell on the subject.
Heterosexuals are exhausting.
You hear that, Ginny? Your friend has us all figured out. She takes a step towards you. The smell of her perfume is overpowering. Or maybe it's just jealousy. Although I'd be careful if I were you. Last time we got close, it didn't exactly work out for you. Speaking of which, how's that neck doing? It's fine. Barely felt it anyway. She could tell you're lying. You can tell she's enjoying herself. She's kind of hot, though. Now, let's get down to business. We're here to talk about Sana. Who? Oh, right. The thin blood. What about her? Girl's a threat. We need to find her. Figured we could do it faster if we work together. Uh-huh. Keep going, honey, because I have a feeling there's a catch coming. Catch is... Awkward silence. It's not often you see him at a loss for words. Seeing him struggle, you decide to jump in. You want the girl to stay alive. See, now that's a deal breaker right there, sugar. If you want me to even consider it, you'll have to sweeten the pot. Once again, she turns to D'Angelo. And I bet tall, dark, and handsome over here might have some ideas.
Heterosexuals are exhausting.
Just tell us what you want. Oh, you're no fun anymore. She wants a high-profile target. Show off to the prince what a good little skirt she is. That all you care about nowadays, huh? Playing the game, climbing the ranks. A smile creeps up on her lips. You can tell it's forced. D'Angelo definitely knows how to get under her skin. That's my Ginny. Big old brain and a heart to match. Once again, she turns to you. I knew right away he'd try to help this girl. Just loves himself a damsel in distress. But you, I'm still not sure what your angle is. I'm just putting on hand sanitizer. This is not a masturbation joke. Do you care? I don't, honey. Not really. It's called making conversation. So there. You know my terms. Contact me when you've made up your mind. Don't take too long, though. I'm a lucky girl. Might just find your little thin blood in my own. Still, I hope we can work together. We did make a good team back in the day, didn't we? Slowly, seductively, she puts her arms on his shoulders and does a DDT suplex, and he likes it. I'm kidding. She glances over to you, clearly enjoying how awkward it makes you feel. Play that clip again. You really do have a thing for the hidden, don't you? My things are none of your concern, sugar. Anyway, withdrawing from the strange half-embrace, she flicks D'Angelo's, not noses, he's not that messed up. Almost instantly, she turns from flirtatious to dispassionate. However this plays out, I have a feeling we'll meet again, sooner than later. Until then, without sparing you another glance, she disappears down an unlit park alley. D'Angelo watches her go. The look at his face makes a longing and guilt borderline comical. Finally, he turns back towards you, as if breaking some spell he was under. Well, could have gotten a lot worse. What did you mean by a higher profile target? It's not what, it's who. She wants me to give a Larson. Wait, what does Larson have to do with any of this? He doesn't. Not directly. It's just he might have some less than admirable chapters in his biography. Might have done some pretty egregious shit. Rather, he knows a certain handsome someone might have evidence of said shit, which would allow her to bring him down. Bringing down a primogen, even as lame as Larson, is a pretty big deal. He squints, rubbing the bridge of his nose. Fuck it. I made it back to the office. You get my feet up. Get some blood flowing to the old noggin. You coming? You nod. Why the hell not? So you make your way towards 5th Avenue. You got a long way ahead of you, and a lot of stuff to figure out. Although it's not your first visit, you still find it hard to navigate the dark, rust-ridden corners of the grain terminal. Luckily, this time you're with someone who could probably do this blindfolded, so you just follow his lead. As you're both climbing the rickety stairs leading to the mezzanine, you suddenly notice light coming from D'Angelo's office. A quick look assures you that, no, he did not in fact leave it on. You bust to the door, like undid Tango and Hooch. Was that Turner and Cash, ready to unleash unholy fury on the intruders. You half expect an anarch death squad or an SI hunting party. Instead, you get Larson, who nearly falls out of the chair when you two burst in. Or you can't spell larceny without Larson. Larson! What the hell are you doing here? What does it look like I'm doing here? I'm waiting for you two bozos to show up. Seemingly both intrigued and irritated by the surprise visit, D'Angelo walks over to her cabinet and pulls out a fresh cigar. And now that the clowns have arrived, does His Highness mind telling us what brings him to our merry circus tent? Her. He points at a tiny shadow cowering in the corner of the room. To your astonishment, it turns out to be a very familiar face. The blood. No. No, not again, please. Where the hell did you find her? Outside my front door. She must have heard of me. Found out where I lived. It's not uncommon knowledge among the Duskborn. She probably figured I could help, but honestly, I have no idea what to do with her. I mean, I should turn her into the prince, but that's just another strike against my people. And again, I can't just set her loose. Not after what she did. Fuck, D'Angelo. You could tell I'm desperate if my first instinct was to come to you. No, Lawson. I would attribute that decision to what's led to your common sense. He leans over to you. Hey, kid. I think we should call it a night. Just give me some time to talk to the girl. Maybe I'll get through to her somehow. Sign! The sign! It's always there! Though I hold my breath. Honestly, you're glad to leave him to it. Spending the night in a small room with a tiny serial killer doesn't seem too appealing. Still, you're hoping D'Angelo will be alright. He's got some tough choices ahead of him. Okay, I'm really hoping D'Angelo doesn't die. Because that'd be fucked up. I mean, I assume if leaving him alone would kill him, the game would give me a choice. So, there's that at least. I still got time. Let's finish this little recording session off with a nosy reporter. There's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's Haven. She could probably use your help with the problem. The streetlights filter into the apartment in a stark white glow, as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expense, entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. Feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations. Are those like the limitations of how much I can listen to Jacob Sartorius? Because if so, yeah, your reputation is on plumb, sister. Is making fun of 16-year-olds still funny? I don't know. I've tried to dress inconspicuously because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that. Sophie walks to the window and looks out, the streetlights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen, contemplating the unfortunate limits of her subjects. You'd think that as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have the power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. I used to have a journalist friend, and you know what they're like. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, a wine glass with red liquid in it. Blood, treated as not to spoil. You become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down across from her. This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash. Talked to the neighbors. Please, be a dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here.
We respect women!
Is this about the masquerade? That's a big deal for us, right? Indeed. You're learning. This must happen often. How do you usually deal with it? Everyone has their own way. Sometimes the problem goes away with a bit of money or sharp words. Other times you need something more. Am I in danger? Everything that has to do with the media and the masquerade is dangerous. To you and every other kindred. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the games she plays with this city's mortal and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. Outside on the street, there's a slight, warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. New York smells of people. Thousands and thousands of them packed together. Takes a moment for you to get to grips with the full panoply of sensation. But when you do, there's one that sticks out. Clean aftershave, a strong imprint of someone who has hung around the building a lot. Strong enough to persist despite the light rain. Stale cigarette smoke, sweat. You follow your hunch, and as you walk closer, you reflect on how sometimes being kindred makes things so easy. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy place between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of muggings and violence. Now it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you are following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield, its heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember the face? The shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline in some trashy newspaper? The article was about a friend of yours, an artist who was reported to be dating a celebrity. It was true, but the celebrity didn't want to be associated with your friend, and broke it off afterwards. For months, your friend cursed Doherty's name. Hey, don't go scare... it looks like Kilpatrick from... Hey, don't go scaring people like that. I'm a third-generation bondsman. Wow, you're Frank Doherty. I'm a huge fan. I love your work. Thank you. It's nice to have one's work appreciated. Look, I know I'm giving a lot of people the Boston accent. Or, like, that accent. But, like, it's the East Coast, and as someone who lives on the East Coast, you either have a Southern accent or you talk like you're from Boston. One of the two. Or you're like me and you grew up watching so much TV you don't have an accent, which is weird. So, reporter, huh? Yes, democracy dies in darkness, as they say. It's a noble calling. Do you live here? We're working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles. Well, the way you look, I'm guessing you might know it too. You're redhead, pretty as a picture. There are a lot of pictures of her through the years. That's the thing, in fact. Look at this. Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from past decades. All show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. So you're a stalker of some sort. Come on, I'm just doing my job. You're Frank Doherty, legendary reporter, so this must be important. Frank is visibly delighted by your words, no matter how insincere they were. As a reporter, you never know where the story will take you. 3 words. Extreme plastic surgery. All of the celebrities do it. Only your doctor better than the rest. You look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. You're thinking the world's best plastic surgeon is working out of this alley? Okay, fine. I don't know what this is about. So how would you explain it? Have you considered the possibility that these pictures are a hoax? Sure. Anything can be a hoax. But I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. I gotta have something usable. Oh, I learned Dominate. Ooh. You look Frank in the eyes. They're red behind his shaded glasses, veins popping from years of neglecting his body. Suddenly he seems soft, easy to manipulate, his will nothing but plaster crumbling under your boot. Go home and destroy your research on Sophie Langley. As your vampiric gaze takes over Frank's mind, he feels less than a person, and more like an automaton, a machine you could program. Perhaps this is why older vampires are said to think of humans as nothing but animals. How can you consider someone a thinking person with free will when you can override them at any moment? Frank is mumbling, fondling his camera, inching around you to the entrance of the alleyway. He looks sad and worn as he goes. A man who used to be something, now just a shell. Feels almost embarrassing to use the powers of your blood on someone so weak. At least you're pretty sure he'll stay away. Damn. Well, I guess that's it. For these couple of... Again, I don't know how many episodes this is going to be, but... Oh, man. So, yeah, we're seeing more of the mechanics, seeing more of the story. This game is awesome. This is so much fun. Oh, man. I don't know if there's going to be, like, an overarching story, or if it's just, like... Or it just focuses on your vampire and their goings-on and stuff. I don't mind either way, because this game is awesome. Oh, it's so good. And I hope you guys are all enjoying it. I'm having a ton of fun Let's Playing it. I love doing the voices and making all the choices. I love getting into the headspace of Lamar. Oh, he's such a fascinating character. That's such a downer note to end on. But such is life in the world of darkness. Or, I guess, such is death. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video, do not forget that there is a button for that, and please be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I do these Let's Plays on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I also do other videos on tabletop games. I do lore videos, I do rule videos, I do advice for running your own games. And I also do, once every 2 weeks, I GM on a podcast called Oof Troop, because we couldn't think of a better name, where me and my good friend Gail play... right now we're playing Dungeon World, We're playing a modified version of The Curse of Strahd. And we're having a lot of fun. It's dope. So be sure to check that out if you want to watch. If you're interested in it. Subscribe. Like the video. Please leave comments. I love hearing your comments. Even if it's like feedback and stuff I could do better. Like, that stuff's great. I love it as much as the compliments. And also share the video with your friends, because I need to get the word out there. I want more people to see this. I want to share this stuff with more people, because I think kind of the story-based Let's Play is something I... like, something that's less about, like, laugh a minute and more just, like, getting into character and, like, telling a story like this. It's something I haven't really seen done before. I'm sure it's been done. There's nothing original under the sun. But, you know, like, I feel like it's something that doesn't get done enough. So, yes, share the video with your friends and let me know what you thought in the comments below. As always, my name is Lily. It's Transright.